Hello everyone. For this introduction to Google Doc, which is a word processing software, we are going to take this document that is not formatted properly and we are going to turn it into this beautifully formatted document that I am sure that once you read it, you would want to do the recipe, and you can do that and tell me how it tastes. But for now, we are going to start working. Okay, this is how the original document looks, but the assignment that you have is a bit different because there are instructions in blue that you have to follow in order to get the document to move from the original to the final version. So we are now going to do those instructions one at a time and watch as the document changes from the ugly duckling into a beautiful swan of a document. Okay, so the first instruction says that we need to carry out what is in blue here and delete as we go along. So since we know what that is about, we can delete that. Okay, the next thing we have to do is to format the heading. Let's go back to the completed document. We want it to look like this. And it says to do that, we need to make the font Georgia. Right now the font is Calibri. So we are going to select Calibri by left clicking where the E is and dragging all the way across to the first C in coconut. And then we are going to come up to the menu bar, select Calibri select Georgia, I believe. Yes, select Georgia. And that's the first thing. We have to make the color black, but it's already black. So that's applied for us. And we need to make it font size 16. So we go back to the menu. We look for the font size button and we click to drop down, but there is no 16 there. So we just select everything and type 16 on your keyboard. And as we can see, the font size increased to 16. It's now 16 here. The next thing we need to do is to make the alignment center. So we come up to the align button, click the drop down arrow and select center. And the last thing we have to do is to make the font weight of this text bold. So we go up to the menu bar, click the bold button, and we are finished with the heading. We can now delete the instruction. I click and drag down, but I didn't get everything, so I'm now going to drag the rest and delete. Okay, so that completes the formatting of the heading. So we now need to format the introduction, and we need to make the font here Helvetica. So we are going to left click and drag to select everything. So we need to change that to Helvetica. So we select everything, we go up back to the font menu section and come down to Georgia. In this case, it's on my recent list. If you didn't use it recently, it wouldn't appear here. Most likely you will find it down in the normal font list. And in addition to that, if you're trying to get a font but you don't see it in this list, what you can do is click the more fonts and type the name of the font that you are looking for. In this case, Georgia is already in my recent list, so I don't have to do that. So I have the paragraph selected. What I would do is just simply come select Georgia. So that's correct. It's color black, size 12. And what we need to do is to change the alignment to left, and we come up to the alignment button, select left. And that takes care of the introduction. So once again, once you are finished with the instructions, you delete them. Okay, so we are ready to go on to the serving size. And the instructions here says font Georgia again. So we select it. We go up to the menu and we select Georgia because we have been using it. And we need to make it black while it's 12 to change it. I know the alignment is left. So the only thing that we have to do is to make it bold. But instead of clicking the bold button here, I will hold down the Control key on my keyboard and press the B key with the text selected. And that's a shortcut way of making the font bold. And once again, we delete the instructions. But move it up one more and we are ready to work on the image. Okay, so we are now ready to work with the image, and the first instruction says that the aspect ratio must be locked, which means that if we lock the aspect ratio, by the way, notice that when I selected the image, this panel appeared here, but that may not happen in your case. So what I'm going to do is deselect the image, close the panel, and select the image once again. You notice that no panel appears. So if that happens in your case, you go up to the menu bar and select image options, and that is going to bring back your panel. So I was explaining that if the aspect ratio is locked, if I type a number here, so let me type 1, you notice that the height and width of the image scales at the same time. I would undo that and explain what I mean. Now, if I select the image and do this, that means that I'm scaling the width, but not the height. I would undo that. So I'm not scaling with locked aspect ratio there. The other way I could scale the height without changing the width. But your instruction says that you must lock the aspect ratio. This means that when you scale the height, the width will have to be scaled by the same amount. Now, instead of trying to estimate that here, you simply leave the locked aspect ratio button ticked, and we simply type 3 here, which is the instruction. We make it 3 inches, and we come down to set the wrap to break text. All right, so we can close the panel, even deselect the image, and the next thing we need to do is simply delete the instruction for the image. Okay, we are now ready to work on the image credits, and I would have deleted some of the formatting that was there before because that doesn't apply to the software. So the only thing we have to do is to make the font Arial, light gray, font size 10, align left. So we select the credits, we go up and we select Arial. If it wasn't in the recent, we could come down here and get it. So we selected that. It's now Arial. We need to make it light gray. So we come across to not the highlight color, text color where the A is. Select it and just come across here. This is dark gray, darker gray, gray, light gray. So let's make it light gray. All right, that is way too light. So I'm going to break the instructions and make it dark gray 2 instead. That's better. Align left. We can delete that and move on to the next section. No, I made a mistake. Let me just delete the instructions. Okay, I wanted it to go up closer to the image. Okay, like that. So that's okay. So we are now ready to go and work on the ingredients. Okay, so let's just jump back to the document. Okay, so we are down here. We do not have the light gray as in this document, but we don't have to worry about that. What we need to do is get this to look like, well, we need to get our document to look like this, where we have a bulleted font along with a heading that is bold and formatted to a particular font. So the heading, we need to make it Georgia again, and the font weight is going to be bold. This time I'm going to click the button to make it bold. Size 12, align left. So that's okay. We can delete this. Okay, I need to just let it go down 1. So I press enter and delete the remainder here of the instructions. Okay, so we are now ready to format the actual ingredients, and we need to make this Helvetica. So we go up, and we don't have Helvetica, but we have Helvetica UE on UA. So we select that. We need to font size, font color black, font size 12. It's 12, align left. So let's put it to the left, and we need to make it into a bulleted list. So we select bulleted list here. So all we need to do is delete our instructions. Okay, so let's look at the document, our target document. So that, I believe that looks close enough. We have a little issue with spacing here, but wouldn't fuss over that. I could probably just bring it up 1. Okay, so that fixes that. So what we need to do work on now would be the method. And this has a numbered list instead of a bulleted list. Most likely all we have to do is just make this to Georgia, bold it, and keep it left. So we go up, Georgia, bold, black 12, align left. Okay, so that's for method. We now have to format the steps, and those are what we need to make Helvetica. Select them, go up to the dialog up here, the menu up here, and we select Helvetica. We need to make it align left and numbered. No, that is a definite error in the instruction. We need to make this a numbered list. So let's go up here, select numbered list, So we see the numbers are here, but this is centered, so we need to align it to the left. So we come to the alignment button and we click left, and we can now delete the instruction for this, and we are basically finished with the tutorial. Okay, the last thing we need to do is to format the page. So let's go, we do that by going to File, Page Setup, and we 75.75, sorry, 0.75 here, 0.75 at the bottom also, and 1.5 at the left and right. Okay, so now that we have completed that, all we need to do is delete the instructions here. But okay, I think we have a little space at the top because I'm noticing that there is a spillover to the bottom. Let me see, yes, we have some excess. What I did is basically click to the edge here, and let me undo that. Being clumsy. What I did was click here and drag down because I noticed that we are having an extra page when there is nothing typed. So if that happens, it's probably because we have some extra spaces typed there, so they're not identified as characters. So we just delete those to get the document on just 2 pages. So that takes care of the page setup in terms of margin. What we need to do is to insert page number. So we go to insert page number, and we want it to the bottom of the page. We click more option, into the footer, starts at 1, apply. Okay, but we want the center, so we are going to come here and click the center button, and that is going to bring us to the end of the tutorial. So let me just press escape to get out of this footer, and let us compare the 2 documents. So this is the one that we just completed, and this is the demonstration. Okay, sleeping size, there are some minor differences. Let me see what this is. This is Georgia size 12, Georgia 12, so I'm seeing something different here. Probably has to do with the fact that there is a space between here. That's what that was confusing me. This is a bit different, but you wouldn't be held accountable for that, because once you select and you apply a color as the grid that we did there, then we can't maintain it like that. But all in all, this is about the formatted the same way, basically the same way as the document that we started, or as our target document. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you learned a lot, and continue to practice your word processing so that you will be able to communicate more effectively and create more documents online. Good luck with your studies.